What's up everyone, my name's RJ and I'm one of the HYROX Ambassadors, and I'm going to take you through a quick demo regarding everything HYROX. So HYROX is a fitness race made up of 8 stations with a 1K run before each station. Okay, so when it comes to warming up for your HYROX race, I prefer to get outside. Get out of the arena, get away from everything, get your mind in the right place. So I'd warm up doing plyo work. It is a running race, remember this, so we want to try and create some tendon stiffness, so pogos, things like this, A-skips, high knees, all this type of stuff, really try and work on this tendon stiffness. So we want to try and get our heart rate up to about 180. So if you've got a heart rate monitor, try and use this. Spike the heart rate, get your body used to being in that state. So you want to, once it's up, let it come back down, get that first initial rush of sweat, and then get moving. The first station that we have to tackle is the SkiErg. So, by this time you've run your 1K, you come to the ski. So what I want you to do is, I want you to think of, we're gonna hinge, we're gonna try and stick our bum backwards, and we're not gonna pull with our arms. So I want you to think of bringing the chest down, arms are bent, so the hands are going to come towards my head, and then this bit here, this part is where I'm going to create the power, which is called the catch. So I'm going to catch, and it's going to come down to here, the handles are going to get to about this position, which will be in line with my pockets, and then I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to bring the handles back towards the pulleys. So when we first start, to get out of the habit of using our arms, I'm going to hold the handles like this with my fingertips, and this stops us gripping on and pulling with the arms. So I'm going to hold with my fingertips and see how this forces me to keep my arms soft. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to start holding onto the handles a bit harder. I'm going to keep my breathing under control, and I want to try and keep my strokes fast enough so I can keep the sound of the whoosh, so it sounds like I'm just tipping the fan up with air. So I don't want to pull too hard and then wait for the whoosh to finish. I want to pull, whoosh, and again. So I'm just literally just ticking that fan around. Okay, we're going to do 1,000 meters on here, handles back. We can't leave this station until we've hit 1,000 meters, then bang, we're on to our next 1K. Next up we have sled push. So on the day, you're going to push it 4 lengths. So it's going to be 50 meters in total. So it's going to be 12.5 meters 4 times. So what I want you to do is I want you to lean through the 2 poles. I want you to try and get as much weight over this pile of plates as we can. I want you to snap your elbows. So I want you to let your biceps come through the poles. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep that breathing under control. The worst thing you can do is hold your breath. So you're just going to start seeing stars. So keep breathing. If you need to stop, stop halfway, or stop before your legs fill up with lactic. So it will take you longer for your legs to recover. So say if you push it all the way to the end, legs are blown up, and you're going to take longer to recover than if you just keep taking little breathers and little breaks. So we're going to cut back in. We're going to push the sleds back, past the lines that are going to be on the floor. There. So we've done 4 times. That's you done for the sled. Next we're on to sled pull. So on the day we're going to have a box that's marked up with white tape. It's about 1.5 meters. So we're staying inside the box. We can't step out of the box, otherwise you'll get a 5 meter penalty. You're going to take all the slack out of the rope. They're quite stretchy on the day, so you want to be aware of that. Standing up, leaning back, just walking back. Be mindful where your feet are, so don't step out of the box. Keep inside your box. So I like to pull the rope through one hand, and then I'll overhand until the rope's nice and tight again. I'm gonna lean back, popping my hips up, and then walking back. Same thing again. Rope comes through, overhand, overhand. Leaning back, pop the hips up. And when the sled's moving, then I'll walk back as the sled's got momentum. So as the sled's coming closer to me now, it's getting lighter. So if you are doing doubles on the day, you want your stronger partner to start with it, and the less stronger partner can finish off the last bit. So you're gonna pull this all the way until it's back inside your box. Then we're gonna run. Then we're off to burpees. So there are 3 different types or styles of burpees you can choose from. You'll have a line that you have to start with. So your hands will want to start behind the line. You're gonna kick your feet back. So the first one, which is the most tiring, is you're gonna jump your feet in, so your feet can't come past your hands. And then you're gonna use your arms to throw you forward. Still keep it nice and low. So my hands are gonna come back down to where my feet are. We can't step past that marker. Kick your feet back. Jumping in, using the arms, okay? So try and use those arms as much as you can, just to try and make it easy for yourself. Next we've got the step in. So same thing again, behind the line, my hands are gonna come down towards my feet, kick back, I'm gonna step in 1 foot, I'm gonna try and bring this foot as close to my hand as possible, okay? So say, if I only bring my foot in to here, see this gap? So it's usually, you've got 80 meters of burpees, and it's usually about 38 burpees. So imagine doing that 38 times, the burpees that you don't want to be doing. So if you're not flexible enough to get your foot in, you can just turn your body a little bit, and bring it in that way. That way you're cutting that little gap out. Feet, both your feet in, and the same thing again, using your arms to propel you forward. Next we have the knee dragging. This is a really good one if we're just trying to recover, if we're gassed. They're even good to do on your last few burpees just before you're going to go back into that run. So try and get your breath back doing this. So same thing again, hands to your feet, kick your feet back. We're going to drag one knee in and step up. Stand up. Hands, swing, and again. So that is the slowest out of the 3, but you'll come off the burpee station so much more in control of your heart rate. Next we have the row. So this is the first time you get to sit down in the race, so make the most out of it. You want the straps over the widest part of your foot. You can't start pulling on the handle until your feet are actually on the plates. So anything like this will mean like you get a 10-second penalty, or it's down to the judge how big the penalty is. So if I start pulling the handle before my feet are in, the judge can come over, make you stay still and give you your penalty, so you don't want that. So make sure your feet are strapped in before we start. Overhand grip on the handle. So we're going to start off with straightening the knees. And we're going to pull in towards just underneath the chest, back out with the arms, and back in again. So I like to have my stroke rate at about 28 to 30. And that's the top number on the right of the screen. I don't recommend blitzing the row. This is the first time you get to sit down in the race. You want to make the most out of it. Try and use it to recover. You're just over halfway in now. So get your breath back. I have my damper on about, usually about a 7 or a 6. So it will be set to 7 for the lads, and 7 or 8 to the lads, and about 6 and 7 for the girls. But you can touch that and change it as many times as you want. That's the same with the SkiErg. So we're doing 1,000 meters on there. Place the handle back in the case. The fastest way to get these out, I know it sounds ridiculous, I've got to tell you this, but it is. The number of times I've seen people get their feet stuck in there and they roll it, it's literally kick it forward, out, kick it forward, out, and we're off. Another 1K run. Next we have farmer's carry. So, this can be tricky because it's literally one run into another run into another run. So, make sure that you've not just grabbed a drink of water straight before this station, because I've done it before where I've drank water and tried to chalk up, the chalk's not worked, and it just slide out your hands. So, get the drink after if you need to. So, chalk up. So I like to grab the corner of the actual kettlebell. So if I lean it back, tuck my hands in, so I'll keep my thumbs out. If I keep my thumbs out, it stops me from gripping the handles. Like, if I grip this muscle comes into play. If I keep my thumb out, it's just like a hook, so you can actually last for a lot longer. So lean it back, grab the corner, keep your core braced, just move nice and firm. If you can throw a little jog in, keep moving. So you don't want to be holding these kettlebells for any longer than you need to, because obviously your hands are going to fall apart. Done. Next station is sandbag lunges. So we're nearly there now. We're nearly at the end of the race. So, taking hold of the handles, swinging it one way, get a bit of momentum, so swing it one way, then it comes the other, and catch on your back. So, I like to have as much weight over the front of this moving leg as possible. That way I know that this is engaging and this is doing the work. So I don't want to not fully extend this leg, otherwise the judge will be all over it. So you need to fully extend the leg, step in if you need to, and back again. But make sure this leg is fully extended before we go into the next lunge. See, if I keep my weight in the middle, that's where it becomes a bit tricky. So this is hard. But you want to keep that weight over the front leg. Now this is all engaging. Make sure that knee kisses the floor, or it's low enough so the judge can see. Get low enough for your lunges. We've got 100 meters of them. Make sure you throw your sandbag back in the designated spot as well, because the judges are on that. Last station, you just run as fast as you can. After those lunges, you're coming into the wall ball station now. There's judges everywhere. They're telling you which wall ball station to come on. The crowd's going wild. Okay, wall balls in front of you. Be mindful not to do this, otherwise it's a no rep straight away. So if you come down, pick the ball up, and then turn like this into your wall ball, that's a no rep. So you want to make sure that you're fully extended before we even start. So squat, pick the ball up, I'm going to fully extend, fully stand up. Now the main tip on this one is to keep your breathing under control. So I like to breathe out with every throw, and I'll breathe in as I'm coming back down. So I like to rest the ball on my chin. I'll keep my hands in this position like this, and I'll try and keep out the habit of hinging forward. I'll try and keep nice and firm, nice and braced. I also want to try and do a little flick with my arms. So if you think, for example, 100 wall balls, it takes about 4 minutes to do. If I hold my arms up for 4 minutes, there'll be fatigue just without any wall balls involved. So I want to try and think of a little flick. Any chance I could get to bring my arms down, I'm going to make the most out of it. So, taking the ball, squat. Lads want to touch the top target. Girls want to hit the bottom. Now I want to make sure that I'm breaking parallel with my hips. So see how I'm keeping my hips nice and low. So this will be a no rep.